Let's get it. Today we're going to be doing a quick market update to see what's going on with Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets as a whole. So let's go. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto Cabin. My name is Tom, and in today's video we're going to be doing a quick overview of how Bitcoin's doing and how the overall cryptocurrency markets are looking for the near future. If you're new to this channel, please scroll on down, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and then click on that notification bell and select all so you get notified for when I post these new videos. So without any further ado, let's jump right in here. So Bitcoin has been kind of traveling down in this descending wedge for quite some time here. So when we take a look there, we were kind of having this descending line of resistance and then this also descending line of support there. In one of my previous videos, I also mentioned this line coming here that goes all the way back to actually the 2017 all-time high, and it's been kind of an upward sloping level of support for the last three big dumps that we've had. So this first dump back here in January to February of 2021, and then over kind of the spring and summer of 2021, and now once again in January of 2022, this white line that's upward sloping here has held as support going all the way back to the peak of the 2017 cycle. So not necessarily that all these lines are, they're not the end all be all, but when lines are respected that many times, it is something I think that is worthy to take a look at. So with this descending wedge here, we have broken out. So typically descending wedges do break to the upside. You just are never exactly sure when, of course. But this wedge, they normally don't get all the way to the point, so it breaks out a little bit before we get all the way down here. So that plays out as we normally have with other descending wedges. As you could see here, we don't get right to where these wedges are necessarily, touching yet. So we break out a little bit before that. Obviously that one did, this one did as well. This descending wedge is a little bit bigger, and we did get the break to the upside. So now we are running into some resistance here right at the $42,000 level. This is on the daily time frame. If we go even to the 1 hour time frame, you'll see that little white line that I had laid out there is the price target for if this does play out to be a bull flag. So this has kind of gone straight sideways, and typically what we do here, if this is a bull flag, which would look like this, so taking that measured move and then applying that to where we could, or the bottom part there, when we could be breaking out all the way up to around 46,500, that would bring us into our next support box way up top here. However, we do have some pretty major levels of resistance coming in here right around that $42,000 mark. So we've got this descending line of resistance. This is coming back all the way back from the previous peak, so the very first peak back here in April of 2021, and then we kind of ran into it again back here in September before going back down. And once we broke through, we did go on and reach all-time highs. So we could get rejected off of this and then come back down again, or we could obviously break out. So if we do get rejected off here, I would expect kind of a retest back down to these lower levels, potentially back down to 33, or the lowest would be the high 20s to low 30s. However, there's a lot of bullish things obviously happening. This article, I think, summed it up fairly well. And there's a lot of bullish on-chain stuff. The price action obviously has broken through that descending line like I talked about as well. Or that's a different descending line, but it has broken out. And we are now up to around the $41,500 level. However, this is a very key point, and I do agree with this, as is showing up with my analysis as well. As long as the 41.5 to 42.5 range is not broken and confirmed as support, the trend cannot be considered upwards just yet. So this is a very crucial level, and it is kind of coinciding with a couple different points here, obviously. So this is back on the daily. We're already very oversold on the RSI, and the stochastic RSI is up very high. We have the momentum wave back positive for the first time in a long time, and we are running into resistance here at this horizontal level, as well as this descending line of resistance that we have run into multiple times. So it acted as resistance back there, it was support back there, then it was support here, support, support, fell through, resistance, resistance, and now we could potentially be having that be resistance again and could roll over and come back down. However, if we break through with good volume, we could be up and off to the races. So we do need to break through this level. This is very, very crucial. One other thing to take note of here being the weekend, especially when we pump up on weekends, is that if we do close today above this, $40,600 level, we will get an open that is slightly above. So if you're thinking fairly short term, usually the CME futures gaps do get closed. The majority of the time they do. So you can see over here there was a gap here and it came up and closed pretty much right away. Got filled within a couple days. So that is something to keep an eye on. If we do get a gap here, we could come down and then could keep going down. Like I said, could go all the way down to 30. But we could also break up through if we get good volume. So if we do end up closing right around here, which is where we are right about now, close here, we could come down to test there, close the gap, and then go back on up. So that's something to check out with the futures. And then also we've got a couple different things obviously here with these descending and horizontal lines of resistance now. So just watch out for that. I would not be surprised now if we do get a little bit of a pullback. We do want to see, or I would want to see, these levels, the stochastic RSI and the RSI, reset a little bit because they are quite high. So it wouldn't be a bad thing, in my opinion, to either continue consolidating below these levels for a little while or potentially come back down to test this level here, wherever this descending line ends up, retest that, and then go on and up. So short term, I think there may be a pullback here, but if we are able to flip that, 41.5 to 42.5 range, like it said, basically right around 42K, if we can flip that into support, then I think we can go back and assume that we are going to be in an uptrend. When we look at the overall crypto markets as a whole, it is very, very similar. So obviously Bitcoin being 40 to 50% of the cryptocurrency markets usually, it is making up about half of what the volume is here. So that is why these charts may look quite similar. But the overall cryptocurrency market has broken out of that resistance as well and could also be forming this kind of bull flag on the 1 hour time frame here. And what that would look like I said, pull that, draw that down to there, apply it roughly to where the lines would be, and we could be coming all the way back up to test that $2 trillion mark. So that could be for overall, for the cryptocurrency markets here, we could be seeing a 10 to 12% pump to the upside in the near future. I know Crypto Weatherman talked about the potential of a melt-up event, but potentially not seeing new all-time highs, and I think that is definitely possible. So as always, if you are in this for the long term, maybe you've been dollar cost averaging down at some of these lower prices, pretty darn smart in my opinion when we were down in the 30s, dollar cost averaging. And then as we get up here, depending on which project you're in, some projects have pumped up a ton in the last few days, and those things don't happen if we're not in a bull run, or they're way less likely to happen if we aren't in a bull run. So when you do have some projects pop off or pump up a little bit and you haven't been taking profits along the way, hopefully you have maybe learned from the last couple times, or if you're a hodler, you just hodl in your strong conviction plays and you just chill. That is my plan personally. I have a hodl portfolio and then a portfolio that I do a little bit more trading with, and that is kind of what I play around with. I continue to try to add to my hodl portfolio when I can, and then play around and have some fun with my trading. So that is it for today, team. Thank you so much for watching, and if you got some value out of this video, please scroll on down, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and click that notification bell. Select all so you get notified for when I post these new videos and updates. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I'll see you next time on the next episode from the Crypto Cabin.